Hello all, good morning. Hello everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. Hello.
All right, hello guys, good morning. So welcome back to our SSIS learning. So we will be learning few more transformations today. Do we have any homework? Did we discuss any homework in the last class? Did I give you any homework in the last class?
No, sir, I guess. No.
No, I haven't given, right? All right,
Yeah.
so there's no homework. Okay, maybe in this week we will be having a little more homework. So you have to do it on your own. Like it's a kind of study and do. So you have to study about that particular topic and you have to do it. All right. So we'll be having uh, a few homework tasks as well for today. So the last half an hour, I will be explaining you that homework task, like what you have to do. So we will study till 8:30, and 8:30 I will explain you some concept and that you have to build it by tomorrow and you have to get it. All right. Uh, So let's get started. So in the last class, we studied till this transformations, right? So we didn't do multicast. We did multicast also, right? Okay. All right, sir. So in today's transformations, let's learn a few more transformations today. Okay. Uh, the first transformation we are going to learn is the union all transformation. Now, sir, can someone tell me what does a union and union all will do, and what are those actually?
Union will only keep the unique records and no.
Okay. No, first tell me like what is a union?
Union is a combination of two tables or
So basically union, we'll do it in SQL Server only. Basically, what is a union, sir? So basically union and union all. These two are set operators, right? So these two are set operators. Now what is a set operator, sir? Set operators. Now what is a set operator? A set operator is a operator that works on a complete set. In this case, it works on a result set. All right. When we call union and union all as set operators, what does they mean? They work on result sets. They work on result sets. So, for example, if you want to understand this properly, so just let me switch my database. Okay. All right. So let's execute this. Use AdventureWorks. All right. So here, if you see, we have certain tables, right? So in the AdventureWorks database, mm, let me just expand it. Uh, let me get this particular employee. All right. So if you see this, so we have a lot of employees here. All right. So we have a lot of employees and they are having like business entity IDs. Now, for example, now let's think that I just want to get where business entity ID between 1 and 50. So what this will do, sir? What this will do? So it will give me all the records from 1 to 50. Right now, this is one result set. Now this is one result set. So in order to understand this, let's take only two columns so that we can understand it in a better way. Okay, business entity ID and login ID. We'll just use these two columns. All right. So if you execute it, now you got from 1 to 50, all the employees you got it. Now this is one set. This is one set. Now let's assume that you have one more query. You have one more query. All right. So you have one more query like this. And I just want to say like between 40 and 90. between 40 and 90, for example. Now, if you run this query, now it will show you all the records which are from 40 to 90. Now, this is one more result set. Now, if you want to combine these two result sets as a single result set, if you want to combine these two result set as a single result set, then you will use an operator called as union. Now, union is a set operator. Now, union, what it does, it combines two or more result sets together. It will combine two or more result sets together. Now, ideally, how many records you should see in the result set? So your first query gives you 50 records. Your second query gives you almost like another 50 records, right? From 40 to 90. So ideally, how many records you should see in the final result? So, sir,
100,
you should see
90,
almost
90,
100. Now, if you
90 or
see, okay, why 90 or why 100?
if it is duplicates is accepted, then 100. If it's not duplicated, then it's 90.
All right. So if it is a duplicate, then you will get 100 records. And if the records are not duplicated, you will get 90 records. Now, what does union will do is union will eradicate the duplicates and will give you the values. For example, if you see, actually, what is the overlapping records here? The overlapping records are 40 to 50, right? The overlapping records are 40 to 50. So 40 to 50 are your overlapping records. But if you see, they are already sorted and you got only 90 records as the final output. In the same way, what does a union all do is, union all will include duplicates as well. What the union all will do? Union all will include the duplicates as well. Now, when you run the union all, so you will get 101 records. That means what? It is even giving you the overlapping records. For example, if you see, you got from 40 to 50 records here, and again you got 40 to 50 records here. You see that? Hello, sir. So in this way, you get 101 records because you are getting two records duplicated. Yes or no? So union all will include duplicates and union will not include duplicates. So this is about set operators. Okay, we do in SQL, we do have a lot of operators, right? We have a lot of operators like uh, we have normal numerical operators, we have comparison operators, we have temporal, we have what you say, logical operators. In the same way, we have set operators. Set operator works completely on two result sets, two or more result sets. The only condition of union or union all is the number of columns you mention, they have to be of, so the number of columns should be equal in all the queries and the order also should be equal in all the queries. You cannot write 3 columns in one query and 2 columns in one query. It will not work in that way. So the number of columns written by each result set should be equal, and whatever the column names you give to your first query, only those columns will be appended into your final result. So these are the rules that you need to keep in mind. Sir, understood everyone? Hello? Yes? So this is about union operator. Now, if you want to perform the same union operator, in SSIS, we have some transformations for that. Okay. So before we can continue, let me just take a screenshot of the attendance. All right, sir. Okay. Now how to perform the same thing? Okay. Now how to perform the same operation here as well. Now for this, what we will do is so we cannot do directly it on our Word databases because I don't want to mess up the data of this databases. Let's create one dummy database for all these things. All right. So let me just create a new database. Create database SSIS learning. All right. I'm going to create a new databases for this. So I'm going to create. I will create two tables with the same data. Right. So what I will do is create, or what I can do is just select star into. So what I will do is employee data one. So there is one table called as employee data one. From which table? So this table I already have, right? So I will take this query. Okay. So I will take this query. Okay. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to add this database as well. Okay. I have to add this database as well. All right, so just let me change this to use SSIS learning. All right, so I'm going to run this and I'm going to run this query. So I'm going to create a new table called as employee data one in SSIS learning. And also I will use the same employee data two. I will create another table here, which will give me the data between 40 and 90 records, just some dummy records. All right, so I will just run this well as well. All right, so we got some 51 records here. Now what I will do is I will use these two tables to create a employee table, to create an employee table at the end. All right, so let's see how we can do it. All right, so for this, what we need to do, so we need to create a new SSS package. I'm going to rename it as union. Okay, so this is union all. Okay, this is a union all. All right, just to all. Okay, so I'm going to just drag and drop the data flow task. So inside the data flow task, what I'm going to do is I need to get two sources, right? I need to have two sources and finally one destination. All right, so we will do an OLEDB source for this. OLEDB source. So let me just drag this. Let me just create a new OLEDB source for this, because there is a new database, right? So I will create a new one. Rather than doing it, waiting for the server, what I will do is I will just copy paste the server name. Okay. So Windows authentication. So what is the database I want? So I want to do it on SSIS learning. All right, click on OK. So I'm going to, this would be my new data connection. All right. So table of view. So what is the table that I want to access? Currently, from this SSIS learning, what I want to access? I want to access employee data one. All right, columns. So these are the columns. So maybe I don't need all the columns. Just like with the previous example, what we'll do is we'll just create business entity ID and the login ID. Let's click on OK. Now what I'm going to do, sir, I'm going to create another OLEDB source. All right. So here also what we are going to do. So we are going to select employee data 2 from the same thing. Again, here also, I just want only business entity ID and login ID. Let's create an OK. And here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a transformation called as union all. Now, if you select this union all, it gives you some description here. What it says: combines rows from multiple data flows without sorting. For example, add rows back to back to a data flow after correction of errors. If sorting is important, we recommend use the merge transformation. So what it does is, whatever the records you got, that records will be placed back to back. That records will be placed back to back. So let's see what does it mean. So I'm just going to use this and I'm going to connect my two transformations to this particular thing. So I'm getting this particular two columns here. Okay. Union all, input 1 and input 2. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is, so I need a destination, right? So I will write it to a flat file destination. All right. A flat file destination. And just let me give it to it. And this flat file destination, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create a new delimited file. Click on OK. So it will give you this. So just browse it. Now what I'm going to do, to my export files, I'm going to create a new file called as the union. Okay, union all transformation. Union all transformation, to understand that this is a union all transformation. So this is a CSV file, right? So I want to create a CSV file. Let me create that. Column names in the first data row. And here, if you go to the columns, so these are the two columns, okay? Business entity ID and login ID. Right? Click on OK. Mappings. So I'm just mapping the business entity ID and login ID from my sources to my destination. Let's click on OK. And let's try to run this particular package. I'm just going to save this package and I'm going to run this particular package. Okay, execute this package. All right. So now so I got like 101 rows till the end. So we got 101 rows to the final output, right? So just let's go to export table, union all transformation. Let's open it. Now, if you see this, actually how we saw that the same way. So till 40 records, till 50 records, it is coming from the first source, and again these records are coming from the next source, right? So in this way you are getting, so it is not sorting the data at any point, but it is just giving you the data. Unfortunately, we do not have a union transformation here. What you have is just an union all transformation. So you need to explicitly take care of the duplicates. Okay, you need to explicitly take care of the duplicate rows that you are generating. Okay, and a near transformation to this, okay, a little bit identical transformation to the union all transformation is the merge transformation. Let's see what is a merge transformation. Now if you see, there is a merge transformation. Now merge transformation, what it does, it combines rows from multiple sorted data flows into one sorted data flow. Unlike the merge join, all rows flow to the output. For example, combine two sorted lists of customers into a single sorted list. Now rather than creating another package and doing that, what we will do is we'll just get rid of this connector. Okay, we'll just so let me just remove this connector, even this connector. Okay, let me just keep it aside. Okay, now let's push merge. Now once I keep merge here, and if I try to attach this, okay, OLEDB source output, so this is the output. So what is the input? Okay, what is the input of this? The input would be merge input 1. Okay, the merge input 1, and here I'm going to push it here. Okay, the input merge input 1 and the merge input 2 have sort key positions assigned to their columns incorrectly. So what it is doing is, you cannot directly use the merge transformation. You cannot directly use the merge transformation. So for that, what you have to do is, you can only send a sorted sorted data to this merge transformation. In order to sort that, what we will use something called as a sort transformation. So you just place a sort transformation here. All right, keep it in this. Okay, now double click on this. So you need to, on what basis you want to sort the data. So I want to sort the data on the basis of business entity ID. Okay, now remove rows with duplicate sort value. So if there are duplicate sort values, so if there is something like that, so just remove that duplicates. Let's click on OK, and At the end, what we are going to do, can we apply both to the same thing? No. Not connected to the outputs. Yes, you cannot do multiple things. Okay, you cannot add multiple list to it. Okay, let's sort it again. Okay, here what we are going to do, we are going to write business entity ID again, remove rows with duplicate values. Okay, now we are going to attach this to this. Okay, what is the output? Okay, sort output. Okay, merge input 1. Okay, here again you just go and attach this, right? So now your errors are gone. That means what? Only sorted data can be sent into a merge one. Okay, but let's try one more thing here. So can I apply one other sort here? For example, what if I try to do another sort here, and if I say sort it on business entity ID and remove rows with duplicate sort values. So that means if I see business entity ID is more, so I'll just, I'm telling it to remove that. All right. So now what we will do is, I will just try to append this to my flat file destination. Okay, I will append this to my flat file destination. Let me save this. Let me save this and let me execute this package. All right. Yes. Now we created a flat file destination. Let's go and see our flat file destination. Let's open this data. All right. Now this time we got, how many records do we got? Okay. Let's see here. How many records did we really got? Okay, you got 101 rows till merge. You got only 90 rows. Now only 90 rows have been sent to your 90 rows have been sent to your last destination flat file. Okay, so in order to perform a union, okay, you by using a merge or union or transformation, still you want to get rid of, the duplicate values or the duplicate records. What you do is you just use a sort and just have this property enabled, which deletes the duplicate things. Okay, so what we did here, basically in this final sort here, whatever the sort we are doing, right there, what we did, we just got rid of the remove rows with duplicate sort values. Remove the rows with duplicate sort values. Sir, clear? Hello? Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Is this clear? Yeah, easy. So in this way, you can do a union all and merge. So I will just rename it to union all and merge. So this is true transformations, right? We will do union all and merge transformation. Okay. So in order, it's up to you, like whether you want to use a merge transformation or you want to use a union all transformation with this particular thing. All right, sir. So I have just kept it here for both of them. Okay. The next one is called as the merge join. Okay. The near one to this, another one is called as the merge join. So let's first read about like what is a merge join. Now see, combines two sorted data flows into one using the full left or inner join. We recommend this transformation when data flows can be sorted at their sources. Okay. So basically this is a join. This is a join. It will, what it will do, it will join two tables. It will join two tables. So before doing this, let's go to our AdventureWorks database. Okay, so use AdventureWorks 2019. Okay, so let's see some tables here. Okay, so let's see some tables, and okay, here we have so we have the person.address. Okay, select star from person.address. Yes, we have the address ID here. This is a one-to-one relationship. So somewhere select star from person.person. Person.person. Now, do you have address ID column here? No, you don't have a person ID column here. What you have? Person.business entity. Okay, select star from person dot business dot entity. Okay. Okay. Acha, we have business entity address here. Okay, fantastic. So select star from person dot business entity address. So what they are doing here? So for each business entity ID, what is the address ID and what is the address type ID? Now, what is the primary key here? Just let's see what is the primary key here. Okay, business entity address. No identity column identified. Okay, so there is no identity column here. What is the primary key? Primary key is the business entity address and business entity ID. So both together is okay. So business entity ID and address ID both together is the uh, primary key of this. Now, if you want to join this table and want to see the address, the complete address of it. So what you will do, sir? Basically here in person.person also you have this business entity ID. Person.person. So I'm going to call it as P inner join. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this particular table called as person.business entity ID. So I'm going to call it as BE. All right, I'm going to call it as BE. Problem क्या है? अच्छा, join is a problem. Okay. So let me just use this. Okay, BE on P dot business entity ID equal to BE dot business entity ID. All right. Now what we want? Okay, from the person table, what we want? We want the first name, middle name, and last name, for example. So what we want? We want that P dot first name, P dot middle name, comma, we want P dot last name. All right. So these are the columns that we need from here. And from the business entity address, do we need anything here? So we don't have any addresses. Okay, we don't have any addresses here. But the next table, so this is called as a junction table. All right, sir. Okay, how many of you know about junction tables? Sir, how many of you understand junctions or mapping tables? Why you guys are so quiet today? Boring? Hello?
No.
Okay, is it Sunday night still there?
Yeah, it's still Sunday night today.
All right, Sunday night. Okay, so you're in the Sunday vibe. All right. So how many of you understand mapping table or junction table and why we use that? How many of you understand that?
I'm not too sure. I don't have much idea.
All right. So basically, okay, just I will give you a quick info on that. So how many of you know about cardinalities? Cardinalities in SQL? How many of you know about cardinalities?
Cardinalities. I think I know what that is, but cannot explain it.
Okay,
It's
so
the
how many?
one to one,
one to
one to many,
many.
right?
Yeah, okay.
Exactly, right? So one to one, one to
One.
many, many to
Many to
many.
many.
Oh, by
Okay.
junction table, did you mean bridge table?
Yeah, bridge table, junction
okay.
table, mapping table.
Yeah, so if there's many to many, they cannot be connected directly, so they need a junction table. So it's one to
Exactly.
and many to one. Okay.
All right. So when you have multiple entities mapping to multiple entities in another table, so you cannot directly use primary key of one entity into another entity. So what happens is, so it can create a problem. So a very generic example is, okay, very simple example is, so for example, if you have doctors, okay, and you will have hospitals, right? Now, I don't know about other countries. Now in India, one doctor can work in multiple hospitals, and in the same way, one hospital can have multiple doctors, right? Hello, sir. one doctor can work in multiple hospitals and one hospital can have multiple doctors. Now, in this case, neither you can use the doctor ID inside the hospital table, or neither you can use the hospital ID inside the doctor's table. So it is very hard to establish a relationship between these two. So at that time, what you will do, sir, you will use a bridge table or junction table or a mapping table called as, hospital doctor. So you will create one more table, and here you will give the mappings here. So which doctor ID and which hospital ID is working in which hospital ID. Okay. So in this way you try to map. So you will use a junction table to map. So here also what he's doing is they have created a business entity address as a mapping table. So that means what, one person can have multiple addresses or multiple people can stay in the same address. So that's why they have this business entity address that has been created as a mapping table. Sir, clear till this part?
Yeah.
Clear with this? Yes. Okay. So now what we are going to do, sir? So we have this. Now we need to do another inner join. Inner join on what, sir? Inner join on person dot address. Okay, so one more question here. So what is the difference between a database and a schema?
Database and a schema.
Right.
Schema is how we are connecting the data tables. It's like generally how the relationship works, like one to many, or which is the base table, like that.
For example, if you see here, AdventureWorks is a database, right? AdventureWorks is a database. Now, if you see, you have something called as this table name is little different than the table names you see in other databases, right? You will just create department, but here what you have something called as human resources dot department. Then again, you have human resources dot employee, human resources dot employee table. Here, human resources is a schema. Here, human resources is a schema. For example, if I just go and in the system table, if I see sys.schemas, all right, so it will show me different schemas here. So in one database, I can create multiple schemas. So do you guys know the distinction of a database and schema? Okay, take it as a homework. Try to search about it, like what is the difference between a database and a schema. Okay, this
And
distinction
what
is very
about
important.
schema and a table? Is it the same thing? Similar?
We don't say schema in a table. We call it as a definition of a table, right? We call it as a DDL of a table.
Okay.
Okay, you will never call. Okay, so if you are looking if you're looking this, all right, what is the column name? What is the data type of it? What are the constraints that are used? And if you call this as a schema, no, that is not schema. That is the DDL of a table. That is the DDL of a table. Like what are the things that have inside that? You don't call it as a schema. Okay, schema is something like a logical partition of a database. Schema is the logical partition of a database. Okay, understood? So very to understand it easily, so basically you have a computer, right? You have this computers, right? So in your computer, in for example, if I show my system, right? Now I have like C drive, K drive. Okay, I have two drives here. All right. Does it mean I have two hard disks in my system? Does it mean
No.
I have two hard disks in my system?
No.
What does this mean then?
That's just
Partition.
yeah, how your hardware is
These are just
partitioned.
two partitions, right?
Yeah.
My physical drive is divided into two logical partition. Now this is not a physical division. This is a logical division.
Logical.
Now, yeah, now whatever I do, all right, in this drive, that stays in this drive only. All right. And whatever I do in C drive, it stays in the C drive. For example, if I take a same file and if I copy in C drive and K drive, if I copy a same file, if I copy it 2 times in the K drive, if I take a folder and if I copy it twice in my volume K, what will happen?
Shows duplicate.
Duplicate.
It will duplicate or it will overwrite it. Yes or no? It will not create two folders with the same name. What it will do, either it will rename with something like copy one or something, or what it will do is, if it is the older system, it will directly replace that folder. Yes or no? Yes. That means in the same drive, you cannot create the two files. Now, if the same file, like if I copy in C and K drive, can I do that?
Yeah.
I can do that, and I will not have any problem also with that particular folder. In the same way, if you try to create a table with the same name in a database, it will give you an issue. That means you cannot create the same table name in a single database. But by using schemas, you can create the same table name with two different schemas. Now, for example, here in AdventureWorks, what happens is you have different departments. Now, AdventureWorks is a bicycle company, bicycle selling company. So in that company, they have different departments. Like they have the human resources department. They have the person. Okay, they are having person. Person means any person. So they have the production department. They have the purchasing, sales department. So there are different departments. What they're doing is they are grouping the tables into logical divisions. They are grouping the tables into logical divisions. All the sales related tables stays in the sales schema. All the sales related table, they will group into sales schema. Only the people with sales, only the people of the sales department can access this schema and can access these tables. All these schemas are available again in the single database.
Okay.
Understood? So all this table stays in that schema and all people can access. All right, all these tables are again available in the same database. But if you see MySQL Workbench, okay, if you see MySQL database management system, you don't have the concept of database there. You have the concept of schema. You have the concept of schema. That means you cannot further divide it. If you want to create a separate division for human resources, you will create a new schema for human resources or a new database for human resources. And if you want for the production department, you want separate tables category, then you have to create a separate database for this production thing also. You cannot create in the same database. You have to create two different databases for that. But SQL Server, Postgres, and Oracle gives you this advantage of creating schemas inside a database. Right? So that is about. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, just go and search inside that. That might come into handy. All right. So here, what we are going to do is so pa.address id, b.be.address id. So this is the thing. So what I want here is from pa. From pa, I want address line 1, comma pa dot address line 2, and pa dot city, comma pa dot postal code. All right. So this is our table. All right, this is our table. So what we did, we just combined three tables and we tried to get this particular results. Now, if you want to achieve the same thing with an SSIS package, now if you want to achieve the same thing with an SSIS package, let's see how we can do it. Now, what are the three tables we require here? We require person, business entity address, and then we have what? We have the address table. All right, from the person schema. All right, so let's create an SSIS package here. Sir, someone is asking any doubt? Someone unmuted just now. Any doubt, sir? All right. So this is called as the merge join. We will call it as the merge join. All right. So in order to do this, so first let me drag and drop my data flow task. Double click on my data flow task. Okay, go into the merge join. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called as the merge join. Now in the merge join, what it says combines two sorted data flows into one using the full left or inner join. Now it says like two data flows into one using the full left or inner join. We recommend this transformation when data flows can be sorted at their sources. So if you don't want to sort the data, or if the data is already sorted at the source, then only use the merge join. Now for this, first I need OLEDB sources, right? So I need 3 OLEDB sources for this. Okay, so let me take the OLEDB source here. All right, so let me create this. Let me create a new one. So do I have the adventure works? No, I have the database, data warehouse here. Let me connect to this. So all right, just let me take this server name. All right, refresh. Okay, what is the database name? So I'd want to go for AdventureWorks 2019. Test this connection. Yes. Let me create OK. This is AdventureWorks 2019. All right. So let me click on OK. So what is the table that I want from this? Currently, I want person dot person, right? So the first table what I want to need is person dot person. Is that person dot person only, right? Person dot person. Yes, correct. So I'm going to access person dot person. Now these are the columns. Now, do I need all the columns? I don't need all the columns. I need business entity ID because I need it for the join. All right. I need the first name, middle name, last name. So I will take only these 3 columns from this. Let me clear all that. Then I need another OLEDB source. Then I need another OLEDB source. So let me double click on it. I will use the same thing. And what is the table that I want here? Now I want person dot business entity address. Person dot business entity address. Let's go to the columns. Now what I need here, again, I need business entity ID and the address ID. I need what? The business entity ID and the address ID. I'm not caring about the address type ID currently because I don't want to join it. I just want to take these 2 columns for me. All right. Now, sir, now you cannot directly try to join 3 tables here. Okay. Merge join only works on 2. For example, if you click on it, so what it says is, oh, the way it is not changing. Acha. One second. Task list. Not the task list. Where is it gone? SQL Server Object Explorer is here. Where is the toolbox gone? View, tool. Data tools operations. No, not this one. This is completely changed.
The toolbox is right below the task list.
Where it is?
It's right below in the third space. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Mm.
One second, it's still initializing. Just a second. Still initializing. It's oh.
You can find the toolbox near the package explorer. There in the right hand side there are 2 one table type sign, right? Near solution explorer, left side,
This one?
more left. Yeah, this
Okay.
one.
Oh, thank God, yeah. All right. Yes. Okay. So here, what we are going to do, we are going to see the merge join, right? So if you see, so you can use only on 2 sorted data. But currently we have 3 tables here to join, right? So how you will do it? So first you will do it on 2, then you will do it on the third one. First we will do it on 2, and then we will do it on the third one. So let's try to join this OLEDB source output. All right, what is the input of this? So merge join left input. So this would be my left input and this would be my right input. So let me just keep it here, and the is sorted property must be set to true on both sources of this transformation. What it says? So it says like there should be a property. What it says? The is sorted property must be true on both sources of this transformation. We don't have anything here. Let me just right click on this. Is sorted component properties. OLEDB source output. One second. All right. So basically it is asking for me a property here. So what we will do is we'll just remove this. Okay. We will sort the data directly here. Right. We will sort it and we will sort this here. So let me just add it. There should be that property is sorted property. So based on the business entity ID, I will sort this out. And here also I will sort it out on the base of business entity ID. Now I will just map this up. Okay, left input. Okay, and this here I will sort it out. All right. So now because we are doing two sorted data, right? So I just use that, and on what basis I want to join. Now what kind of join I want to perform, whether I want to perform an inner join or whether I want to perform a left or outer join. Okay, left join or full outer join. Okay, what kind of join I want to perform? So I want to perform inner join itself. So on the basis of entity ID, on the basis of entity ID. So what are the columns that I need right now? What are the columns that I need? I just need business entity ID. Okay, I need the first name, middle name, last name. Okay, these are the columns that I need. Do I need the address ID here? Yes, I do need the address ID here. All right. So why do I need to sort them? I don't need to sort them, right? So just let's get rid of this. Okay, we will just sort it on the basis of business entity ID. All right. So this is how we join. After joining this, what we want, sir, whatever the output we are getting it here, whatever the output we are getting, so we need to do one more merge join, right? We need to do one more merge join. So let me just pull this out. All right. Now here I'm going to connect this merge join left out input. Okay. And here again I will write OLEDB source. I will use another OLEDB source. I will just keep it here. Double click. All right. What is that table I need? The final table is the person dot address, right? Person dot address. We are going to use this. What are the columns that I need? I don't need everything. I just need address ID, address line 1, address line 2. All right. City, postal code. Okay. This will do, I guess. State, province ID do I need? Maybe just we'll keep it for reference. Now directly I cannot join here. So I just what I will do is I will sort the data again. So using the sort one, just sort it. All right, so just keep it here. All right, now in this sort, on the basis of what I want to sort, I want to sort it on the basis of address ID. Okay, let's click on OK. and this is pushed here. Okay, so we are getting business entity ID and we are getting all the address IDs. All right, so we also might need the address ID as well. We might also need the address ID as well here. So let me expose this as well. Click on OK. So if you see this, on the basis of, so just get rid of this address ID. So I will just connect this to address ID. The sort of the column is not valid. 1 second. Okay. So I will join it on the basis of join. The sort order of the column selected, the sort order of some selected column is not valid. This one. No. Get rid of this. Input merge join. This one. Address ID. Join on this. Why it is not taking address ID to join? Some of the selected columns are not pair of joins that can be deleted. Some of the selected columns are not part of joins that can be deleted. I don't want this, right? So go to this merge join. I don't want business entity ID here. I will just need address ID. What it says is okay. So again, I need to sort this data. Delete. We will use another sort here. इसको merge कर देते हैं. Sort. We need the address ID. Okay. Now I'm going to send this. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use address ID for join. So it will be based on the address ID itself. Okay. So let's merge them. And after merging the final table, so whether I can send it to a final table or I can send it to a flat file. I can send it to a flat file. Either of the things I should do, either one of the things. Either I can send it to a database or either I can send it to a flat file. So what I will do, I will just do it a flat file destination. I will just push this to a flat file destination. All right. So new flat file. Let it be a delimited one. Let's create on OK. Now this browse. We're going to call this as a merge join one. Merge join. Right. Click on OK. Column names in the first data row. What are the columns I need? Okay, we got only address ID here. So no, we don't need that. We need all of them, right? So just let me, okay, from this first merge join, what are the columns I need? I might need business ID, first name, okay, last name, all these columns that I need. Sort it on address ID. Okay. And here in the merge join 2, what are all the columns that I need? I need to just refresh this. Okay. Sort 3. I got address ID. Pass through. All right. Input column, output alias. So what else I need? I need all these columns. Okay. Let me click OK. Go to sort 2. What are all the columns I need? I need all these columns. I'll just click on OK. Now in the merge join, I'm just doing it on address ID. What are all the columns that I need to expose? I need to expose first name, middle name, last name here. And from here, I need address line 1, address line 2, city, postal code, and state province code. Okay. Now, let me open the flat file destination again. Okay. Let me see the connection manager available. So let me just update it. Go to the columns. I got all the columns that I need. Click on OK. Come back to the It's still not updated. Click on OK. Yes, now it's updated. Now this one will be mapped to first name. This one will be mapped to middle name. This one will be mapped to last name. This one will be mapped to address line 1. This one will be mapped to address line 2. This one to city, and this one to postal code, and the final this one to state province code. Let's click on OK. Now this is our complete merge join transformation. Now what we did here, sir, so first of all we took two OLEDB sources. Okay, we sorted the data, we used the merge join. Now in the merge join, what we used, sir, in the merge join we used an inner join. So we joined that, and then we sorted that data again, because where merge join takes only the sorted data set. All right, so here we took it, and from the OLEDB source 2, so we tried to access our third table here. Then we sorted it back again. We merge joined these two result sets that are coming here with here we did it on business entity ID, and here we did it on address ID, and that particular final set we are sending it over flat file destination. We are sending it over flat file destination. So let's just go and execute this. Let's execute the package. Right. Yep. So it should have created a merge join flat file. So this is a 1 MB file that has been created. So in this way, you can get this. You can get this data set. Now you might ask me like, sir, why can't we directly use a query here, and why we are using in this way? So we use this particular merge join things in order to move data from one server to another server, or from one location you want to generate this data and you want to use it in your downstream applications. Maybe you want to use it into your Power BI. So there is somewhere else there is a Power BI team sitting out there, and you want to send some files, then you will send it through this. You will send it from here. All right, sir. So in this way, you can create your workflows, your this data flow task. Right. So we are done with union all. Okay. So we are done with what is this? Merge and merge join. We are done with merge and merge join. All right. All right, sir. Sir, understood any doubt here in this particular data flow task? Sir, any doubt with this particular whatever we have studied in with this? Any doubts? Do we have any doubts on this? Easy,
Yeah, no doubt.
right? Now, sir, now let's go. Now something we will understand one more transformation today, which is called as the conditional split transformation, which we call it as a conditional split transformation. Now, conditional split transformation is when you have a source, and you want to divide the data from that source into multiple outputs, rather than sending data from one source to one destination. Now, based on a condition, what you want to do is you want to divide the data. You are not dividing the source, you are dividing the data, and that data is returned to multiple files. For example, you want to write three different files. Based on a single table. On a single table, you want to create three different files with three different types of data. So let's go and see, is there any table that can help for us for this particular purpose? Or can we do this on the same thing? Okay. Anyhow, we created this, right? So why don't we just use this rather than creating another new package? What we do is, okay, shall we divide the data on the basis of city name? Shall we divide the data on the basis of city name? Hello, sir. Shall we try to divide the data on the basis of city name? Let's try it. Okay. Okay, anyhow, we have all these cities, right? So let's try to create three different files, or three or four different files, depending upon the alphabets, okay, depending upon the first character of your city name. All right. So shall I explain you on this on the same package, or do I need to create a new package? Shall I explain on the same thing?
Yeah, you can explain on the same.
Okay, that would be easy, right? That would be easy, and that would be easy to learn. Now, after getting this data, getting this data, rather than sending it to one flat file destination, I'm just getting rid of this. I'm deleting this. Now, okay, now on top of this, now if you want to take this data and want to create multiple files depending upon a particular condition, you want to generate multiple files on this, then what you will do is you will use something called as a conditional split. Now what does a conditional split will do, sir? A conditional split will, based on a condition, it will divide the data. So whatever the data you are getting here, that data will be divided. Let's see how you can do it. So let me just give this input, whatever the input that I'm getting from this final join, that I'm sending it to the conditional split. Now in the conditional split, if you open this conditional split, now you will have all the columns that are coming from your source. Now here what I'm going to do is, based on the city, okay, based on the city, I want to do something. All right. So I'm going to call this as cities with cities that start cities through A to, how many characters are there? We have 26 characters, right? So for example, let understand, like from A to F, cities, all you want to send the data into one table, and from G to some other character, you want to send the data into another thing, and like that. Okay, you want to do in that way. So how you can do that condition? So you can use the city condition here. City, can I write between A and F? Can I write like this? Hello? City between A and F. So if the city is between A and F, so I will create a new output called as cities through A to F. Okay. Attempt to pass the expression city between A and F failed. The expression might contain an invalid token. Okay. So this will not work directly. So what we will do is city greater than or equal to A and city less than or equal to F. Okay. This should work, right? Fail, the expression might contain an invalid token, or the expression is not valid. Error at data flow task. Acha. So what it will let? What is there any comparison operators here?
Maybe like, because it's a string, right?
Yeah, but we still can do this. Okay, like for example, in SQL, if you have this, right? Maybe the VB doesn't support this, but basically, if you just write, like where city less than G, for example, if you write something like this, okay, where city less than G, you will get all till A to F. Only you will get the cities which are from A to F. You will not get all the cities. Okay, you will get the cities only through A to F. If I see whole data, how many records are there? We have 18,988 record, right? So if I say less than G, so your records are filtered out, and you can just order it, order by city. If you do this, you will get everything. Okay, the city starting with B through F. You will not get G because it is less than G. It acts as a dictionary actually. It works as a dictionary actually. But I
Yeah.
guess the same thing will not work here. Let's see, is there any string function that can help our purpose? Okay, so do we have like? Even we do not have the like operator, I guess. See, we do not have the like operator. These are typecast, datetime functions. We don't have the like operator as well. All right. So, okay. So what we will do, or we will just divide the data on the basis of address ID, because we anyhow we have 16,000 records, right? So let's divide it on the basis of address ID as of now, or we can do it on the basis of postal code as well, postal code column. But let's do it on address ID as of now. This particular expression is not working out. So what we'll do is address IDs. If the address IDs are less than 5,000, okay. So we want records less than 5,000, okay. Or I can say early adopters. I will call them as early adopters. So these people have joined my business at a very early stage. Now I want the second output, which are called as late adopters, okay, or I can say like late joiners. Now these people have joined the business at a very later point. So address ID, okay, address ID greater than 5,000, greater than 5,000. So do I have an AND operator here? Logical AND, yes. So logical AND. So it should be address ID greater than 5,000, and address ID should be less than, maybe just 10,000. So I'm using it as a between operator. I don't have a between operator, right? I don't have a between operator. Yes, I don't have a between operator. So there are some operators which are not available here. Yes, I don't have a between operator here. Fine. Okay. Expression correct? Yeah, the expression is correct. Okay. Late joiners. Okay. Seasonal customers. Seasonal customers are the customers who joined very late to my business. Okay. Any address ID which is greater than 10,000, I just want to call them as seasonal customers. So I will just say address ID greater than or equal to 10,000. Okay. Address ID greater than or equal to 10,000. You can write any sort of conditions here. It's up to you. I'm just like for demo purpose, we are writing different conditions here. Okay. And take this as homework. Try to achieve this. Okay. How you can like based on the first character. So from A to D, you want to send it to one file. From G to D, you G to H, or divide the 26 alphabets into equal partitions and send each data. Okay. Uh, Alphabetically order them and send each of them to one single file. All right, like A to F into one file, from G to G, H, I, J, K, G to K into one more, then L, M, N, O, P, L, M, N, O, P into one more file. So try to do that. All right. Even I will check out like is there any probability without any script task if you can do that, because mostly these are done on script task. The developers do it on script task. All right. So we have that. So the conditional split is there. Now, finally, what we want 3 files to be generated, right? So flat file destination. So I'm going to create 3 flat file destinations here. All right. So flat file destination 1, flat file destination 2, and flat file destination 3. So these are the 3 flat file destinations that I want to create. So here I'm going to use this connector to connect to the flat file destination. So what is the output that you want? That you want here is, okay, early adopters. So you want to send it to early adopters. Okay. So let me click this. Okay. New delimited file. I want to create a new delimited file. I will call it as, okay, file name as early adopters. Okay. So column names in the first data row. Yes, columns. So these are the columns that I need. Okay. And mappings, go to the mappings. Mappings is also fine. So take another output. Now here, what is the output that you want? You want see late joiners into this. So just double click on this. Okay, new flat file connection, a delimiter file I want to create, and I'm going to call this as late joiners. All right, late joiners. So I need to give it here, CSV file late joiners. All right, click on open. Yes. Okay, late joiners, column name is in the first row. Go to the columns. So these are the columns. Okay, mappings. Click on OK. Let me just correct this first one also. Update this. So browse, give it for a CSV file. I'm going to call it as early. I'm going to call it as early adopters.csv. Just open it. Go to the columns. Click on OK. Go to the mappings. Click on OK. Finally, the component has no available inputs. So I just need to map this to my final output. So all the seasonal customers. Okay, flat file destination input. Okay, click on OK. Double click, same operation. Go here, create a new one. Create a new delimited file. Click on OK. Okay, so here you can say seasonal customers. Seasonal customers. Column names in the first row. Let me just browse it. CSV file. I'm going to call it as seasonal customers. Right? Click on open. Okay. Yes. Columns. Okay. Okay. Mappings. Click on OK. Okay. Flat file destination. So three flat file destinations from the same input. So early adopters, late joiners, and seasonal customers. So let me just save this, and let me just save this and execute this particular package. Let's see if there are no errors. It will automatically create all these pipelines. So this is a very basic way of creating this. If you see, early adopters are 292 rows, late joiners, how many records we got for the late joiners? Seasonal customers, we got 18,506 rows. All right, so let us go and check the files. System hang ho gaya. Second. One second, guys. The system is not responding. Just give me a second. One minute. All right. Now it has come. Now you see you have the early adopters, late joiners, and seasonal customers. So let's open early adopters and see how the data looks. How the data looks on this. All right. So we have got all the records which are less than 5,000. We got only like 300 records here. All right. So in the second one, late joiners, we do not have anyone. We did not got any data here. No, that is wrong actually. We have data, right? We have data. Okay, these business entity IDs are great. Okay, now what happened with the second condition? Let's just go and watch that. Okay, so what we are going to do here is where business entity ID, okay, between 5,000 and 10,000. So this was our second condition, right? Between 5,000 and 10,000. So just let me, what is that? PA dot business entity, not PA, it's P dot business entity ID, right? Let me just run this. How many records do we have between 5,000 and 10,000? What? How many records we have? We have almost P dot business entity ID. Okay. So there are records, right? There are records. There are almost 5,000 records, and for business entity IDs less than 5,000, how many records are there? We have 3,000 records. We have 3,000 records. The business entity IDs which are less than 5,000. So how many we got here? We got very less, right? We got very less records. So let's go and check our conditional split again. Oh, we went for address ID. Sorry, my bad. We went for address ID. We did not went for business entity ID. Okay. Sorry. My bad. Okay. So it's PA dot address ID less than 5,000. Okay. How many records we got? We got 292 records. Okay. So between 5,000 and 10,000, how many records? Execute. Oh, we don't have any records. Fine. Greater than 1,000, greater than 10,000. So we should get a lot of records. 18,005. All right, fine. That's working fine. So that means our whatever the pipeline we have created, that's correct. Okay, that is generating actually what is the value that we have to do. All right, sir. Hello. Okay, sir. So this is about merge join transformation. So this is about merge join transformation. All right. Shall we take one more transformation for today? Shall we take one more transformation?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we will take one more concept here. So we will take we are done with merge, union, all, conditional split. Okay, export column and import column, I will explain you tomorrow. Okay, they are not that important, but okay. So let's see about the OLEDB command. Okay, if we can cover the OLEDB command, it's very long time I haven't used this OLEDB command. Okay. Why we don't have OLEDB command? OLEDB command. Yeah, we do have the OLEDB command. All right. Now OLEDB command is a command that runs. Okay, that runs a SQL query. That runs a SQL query. Basically, we use OLEDB commands to in order to perform some sort of insert operations or update operations or delete operations you want to perform, that you can do using an OLEDB command. All right. So what we will do is we will try to, so whatever the result we got here, right, whatever the result we got, okay, that result we will try to input into, with that result we will try to input into some table. We'll try to insert into some table. So for this, what I'm going to do, shall I show you on the same transformation? Is it okay? Or should I create a new package? Shall we do it on the same package or shall we do it on a new package?
New package maybe.
Okay, so let's do it on a new package. So because now it will grow in size, it will completely grow in size, that complete package will grow in size. Okay, so let's understand how does a OLEDB command works. Okay, so let's try, click on OK. It's missing from the project directory. All right. Delete or remote. What? Acha, it went here. Let me just delete this. Let me create this new package. Let me call it as I'm going to call it as OLEDB command. Why it is not getting created here? All right, so this is my new package OLEDB. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my data flow task. Okay, I'm going to just use my data flow task. So where is my data flow task? Right, so this is my data flow task. Let me open my data flow task, and now in this scenario what I want to do is I want to send the data from one source to one destination. So I want to write the data to one destination. So in this example what I'm going to do is where is my SQL server? Okay, now in the earlier thing what we did, we created a few things here, right? So we created a few things here. All right, so if you see this, so this is the data we generated. Now we created files on this. So what I will do is I will just create in my SSIS learn database. What I will do is I will create a new dummy table here. Okay, I will create a new dummy table here. So what I'm going to do is select star into, okay, I will just take this query. I don't want to mess up with this query. So I will just take here, and what I will do is select all these columns into, I want to create a new table in my SSIS learning. So I'm going to call it as into SSIS learning, or maybe I cannot use it directly like this. Okay, so here what we will do is we'll try to do first SSIS underscore learning dot I want to create a new table. So I'm going to create it as addresses, or I can call it as person addresses. I want to call it as person address. Okay, in this particular database I want to create a person address table. So I'm going to just call it as SSIS learning.dbo.person address. Now DBO is the default schema of SQL Server. So this is the default. Any database you take, by default this is the schema that you are going to. So if you do not have multiple schemas in your system, the default schema would be DBO, that is database object. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, if I keep where 1 equal to 2, sir, what is going to happen if I keep where 1 equal to 2? When I write where 1 equal to 2, what is going to happen? Hello? Give me a minute. I just need to close my window. Thank you. So tell me, so what happens when I say where 1 equal to 2? What's going to happen? Hello?
I forgot that.
So basically, when you write where 1 equal to 2, that means the condition has been failed, right? The condition is a fail. 1 cannot be equal to 2 at any point of time.
Yes.
1 equal to 2 cannot be any point of time. So when I do a select star into, it will create an empty table. It will create only with these columns, whatever the columns that I have exposed here, right? With that columns, it will create an empty table, because where 1 equal to 2 means it will not give me any records. It is not going to give me any records. All right, so an empty table is created with this particular table. So in this SSIS learning database, I'm going to create something called as a person address table with these columns, with all these columns. All right, with these columns and whatever the data types that are given, right, with that I'm going to create, and I'm going to call it as where 1 equal to 2. So I'm just going to run this particular statement. Now, if you see, you created a new table inside the SSIS learning database without creating any of the data. Yes or no? So this is one of the shortest way. If you want to create a table using another table's data, so this is the easiest way you can do it. This is the easiest way you can do it. Now we have this particular table. Now our aim is to send records. Our aim is to send records from our database to into this particular thing. Okay, I want to write an insert statement here. I want to write an insert statement here. So let's see. Okay, let's see how we can write this. Okay, I don't remember this actually, but let me try. Okay, so let me try the flat file source. Okay, let me try the flat file source. So here what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to create a new flat file source. Okay, from here what I want to read, I want to read the data from my CSV files. Okay, so this early adopters data I want to send this early adopters data into my database. So we have this thing, right? We have the address ID, first name, last name, middle name, last name, address line 1, address line 2. Yes, so this is the data that we need, right? Let's create an OK. Let's create an OK, right? Now what we are going to do, sir, what we are going to do, so we are going to use something called as the OLEDB command. Now with the help of OLEDB command, what we are going to do is we are going to perform some insert statements. Now we are going to perform some insert statement. Let me just join this connector with this, open the OLEDB command. Now what you need to establish a connection manager. You need to establish a connection manager. So currently I do not have any OLEDB connections here, right? So for that, I need to go and create a OLEDB connection. So I'm going to create a new OLEDB connection. So what is that database that you want to connect? So currently I want to connect to SSIS learning. I want to connect to SSIS learning. So let me go to the OLEDB command, go to the connection manager, select this particular thing. Okay, the OLEDB runtime connection. So I connected to that. Now go to the component properties. Now go to the component properties. Here, what you need to do, what are the SQL commands? Okay, what are the commands that you need? Okay, what is the command that you want to learn run? So here there are three dots. If you click on the three dots, you will open up this. So what I want to do is, okay, I want to write something like this. Okay, I want to write something like insert into SSIS learning person address, something like this. Okay, I want to write insert into SSIS learning into person address. Here what I want to do, sir, I want to insert data into first name, comma, middle name, comma, last name, comma, address line 1, comma, address line 2, comma, city, and postal code. Okay, here then I want to enter some values. I want to enter some values, and all these values are coming from my my flat file. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place them with question marks here. When I say question mark, so these are the data that is coming from some other thing. How many question marks I need? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 question marks I need. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, 6 7. All right, so this is the statement that I need. This is the statement that I need. I just paste it here. All right, I'm going to call it as OK. Okay, this is my SQL command. Now column mapping. So what are the column mappings that I want to do? So param 0 means the first parameter. So what is the first parameter, sir? So what is the first parameter? The first parameter is first name, right? So this is the order, first name, middle name, last name, right? So I'm going to write in the param 0, I want to send first name. In the param 1, I want to send middle name. In the param 2, I want to send the last name. What else after that? Last name, address line 1, address line 2, city, postal code. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Okay, 7. Now we did this part, address line 1, address line 2, city and postal code. Okay, here we are going to write address line 1, address line 2, city and postal code. So these are the columns that I am mapping to it. Okay, let's create an okay. Something is missing. Columns first name and parents, cannot convert between Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. Okay, let's go to the flat file source. All right, here the connection manager is there, right? So what we will do is go to the flat file connection manager, in the columns. Okay, in the advanced settings. So what is the column that it was talking about? What is that column it was talking about?
First name.
First name, right? First name
Yeah.
and param 0. Okay, first name and param 0. So let's go here, columns, advanced. Here there is a first name. So what it is there? It is again, it is into string dtstr. Now string dtstr means it is a varchar field. Okay, here let's go and see what is the data type of this. Okay, what is the data type of first name? What is the database name of the column has to be the name of the current database. Achha. Okay, no problem. Use SSIS learning. Okay, so let me just take this person address and do multiple. Now if you see all these are in n varchar, sir. Now n varchar will not be supported by your dtstr. Your dtstr, whatever that is coming, right? This dtstr will only work with varchar and it will not work with n varchar. So in order to work with n varchar, because my destination columns are in n varchar, I need to use some other data type here. So that data type is w. So dt, this one, dt wtstr. One second. Yes, this one. Okay, dt wstr. So this is the one. Okay. In the same way, I'm going to call this as dt wstr. Okay. Even the last name, I'm going to convert it into dt wstr. Here also, I'm going to change it to dt wstr. Address line 2. Again, this also, I'm going to change it to dt wstr. City also, I'm going to change it to dt. Let's go dt wstr. Postal code, here also we are going to change it to dt wstr. dt wstr. State province code, we are going to do it on dt wstr. Okay, click on OK. Okay, so I need to remap this. Okay, I need to remap this columns. Okay, now the error is gone. Now currently we do not have any destination, because the destination itself we are writing it into a particular database. How we are doing? We are doing with an insert statement. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to execute this particular package. Let's run this. Okay, so there is some error here. Let's go and see what is the progress here. What is the data flow task? Why it has failed? The execution whether successful, but the number of errors reach the maximum allowed one, resulting the fail. This occurs when number of error reaches the number specified in what? Okay. Input and the error description and the error row disposition. Okay, SSIS code error, induced transform failure. Okay, what is this? The OLDB commands inputs and the errors row disposition failed because induced transform failure on error. What is this? Induce. Okay, just let me quickly Google it. Invalid character value for caste specification. Not that one. What is the Oledb government transformation in? Okay. Quantity, store quality plus I am using below statement. Okay. An Oledb has occurred invalid character value for caste specification. There was an error in Oledb. Okay. Please add the following. Okay. Figure out the issue. Edit small change in Oledb command query and it's working fine. That's modified query where market equal to set market equal to segment equal to quantity equal to right. No. Basically, this should have created some data here. Let's see this. No. Okay, is the business entity ID is referring? Yeah. Okay. Is it referred to as identity or primary key column? No, right? We do not have any constraint here. We do not have any constraint here. Business entity ID is kept as null value. Fine, right? So there should not be any problem. Okay, there must be some problem with the conversion itself. Now, what is the problem? Let me run it again and let me see. It read from the source, pushed 292 rows here. Okay. For example, call a new employee setup store runs and sequence run for each row in a data flow. Components. Okay, you cannot edit the components, fine, but the source is not subsequently using the flat file source output and component flat file source 2 is not subsequently used. Okay, that is the okay, fine. The total number of data processes is 293. DTS, ELE, and OLED developer and OLED record is available. Okay. The statement has and where is the word wrap button country? These new things are completely do you guys see the word wrap here anywhere? All right. Okay. The statement has been terminated. This cannot insert the value null into column business entity ID. Okay. It cannot insert the value null into business entity ID. So in that case, what we will do is, okay, because business entity ID is not allowing to enter null values. So for that, what we will do is into exercise learning, we'll go to the tables, we'll just expand it. Okay, this is the person address, right? Just go to the properties of it. Just go to the properties, right? Not properties. What we will do is columns to the business entity ID properties. Okay, so here we have the data type, extended properties, not here. Okay, go to the design part. Now what I will do is I will make this business entity ID as a, we'll make it as a primary key. Okay, identity specification. So what we will do is identity. So we will just change the validity to yes. Okay, identity increment 1. So what we did, now we made the business identity as identity column. So automatically it will update. Now just save this. Saving changes is not with the changes you have made require following tables to be dropped and recreated. You have either made changes to a table that can't be recreated. Prevent saving changes that require the table to be created. Okay. All right. So save it in text file. Okay. So I will just save it in the K folder. Just save it here. Okay. I don't understand. Actually, ideally it should allow me, right? Ideally it should allow me to create a identity column on this. Okay. So save person address. Saving changes is not permitted. So if saving changes is not permitted, let's allow nulls property cannot be set on because it is an identity column. Okay, then we will remove the identity column. No, and allow nulls. Save this. Why you are not able to save this? We'll do one thing. We'll just alter the table. Alter table. Person address. Add constraint. Add constraint. Add constraint. Person address. Okay. Add constraint on business entity ID. Business entity ID to allow null values. Incorrect syntax here. When creating a table, it's easy to add identity table. When creating it, the table is created without adding into an existing column. Okay. So and one second now. Okay, so it's not possible to create a identity. You cannot add identity at a later point. Okay, so that's what it says. Adding not null constraint, not null adding null constraint here, column data type business entity ID int null. Is business entity ID int null, right? Alter. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is wrong here. So we need to write alter column business entity ID int null. So let's execute this, and we made our business entity ID column to null. Now let's go back to OLEDB DTX, go to the data flow. Let's try to run and let's see if it gets executed. If it gets executed, that's fine. If it not, let's see this error tomorrow. All right, it inserted the record. Okay, because identity column cannot be created at the identity property cannot be enabled on a table at a later point. So whether you have to drop the table and recreate it from the scratch, or you can just, for this demonstration, what we did, we just made it to null. So we loaded the data into our table. We loaded the data into our table from the SSIS, from the text file, from the CSV file, using a OLEDB command. Now, OLEDB commands are mainly used to write, insert, update, delete statements, or even you can run stored procedures. So you can take a stored procedure and you can run that particular stored procedure. So all these things you can do. All these things you can do. All right, sir. So this is about OLEDB command. Any doubts, sir, here? Any doubts on OLEDB command? Or do you want to see what we did in OLEDB command? Hello? Do you guys want to see what we did in OLEDB command? So basically in OLEDB command, we first established the connection. So what is the connection to which database we want to connect? And then in the component properties, if you see, there is something called as SQL command. We went to the SQL command, we clicked on this 3 dots, and we wrote our SQL query. Whatever the SQL query we want to do, we wrote that SQL query. Now what you have to do is, after writing that SQL query, whatever the columns that are coming from your source that you want to map it to your query, you have to place them as, like, you have to keep this placeholders there. You have to keep this placeholders like question mark. Okay, so each question mark will be considered as a parameter. This parameter mapping you can do in column mappings. This parameter mapping you can do in column mapping. There you will map these columns and you are good to go. You are good to go. Sir, understood? Sir, clear this part? Everyone? Hello, sir. So here we
Yeah.
mapped all these columns. Yes.
When we create the OLEDB tomorrow, then maybe probably we'll have some doubts regarding.
Okay. All right, Ritu. Okay. So please do practice this. Please do practice this. And tomorrow, what we will do is we will try to create a package, or whatever the packages we have created, right? We will try to create this package, and we will try to use a dynamic connection strings tomorrow. Okay, what is the dynamic connection string is? For example, now you created one connection string. So now you are working in the dev environment, and in the dev environment, you have a different server, your different database. You completely create your package, you test that package, and when you are moving it to the production, in the production, you cannot open a package and do these settings. You cannot do these configurations in the production. So what we will do is, whenever we are hosting them or whenever we are sending it to production environment, we have to expose variables to it. We have to expose variables to it. So the person who is configuring that package in the production environment, he will only change that server database names in that. With that, that package will work in that environment also. How to do that, we will learn tomorrow. And apart from that, we will learn some other transformations as well. Some simple transformations are there, like export, import. Not simple, these are like little complicated transformations which are not required actually. But I will show you with how you can import images, how you can export images. I will try to show you on that. Okay, how you can import images. Okay, into the database, and from database how you can generate back those images, that we will see tomorrow. Okay, I will create them beforehand so that we don't have this delay in learning things. All right, sir. So that would be there, and then we will slowly move to the control flow, where in the control flow we will be learning about different containers and how to use those containers. We will be learning about them. All right, sir. There are some other transformations which are not like that important. So we have this fuzzy logic, we have this row sampling, we have the row sampling, fuzzy lookup. Okay. Tomorrow we will see about the copy column, not copy column. Copy column is fine. All right. Okay, we will see row sampling, percentage sampling. All right. Pivots, not that important. Term extraction, if you want to look, we can look into term extraction as well. There is one lookup transformation. We will look into lookup transformation as well, how you can perform lookup transformation, main lookup transformations, how you can do lookup transformations we will do. All right. So these are the few things that these are the transactions that we will do. All right, sir. And apart from that, so homework, sir, homework for you guys. So, sir, so what you have to do is you have to create a table. Okay, any table. Mainly do it in SQL Server because the triggers are more efficient in this here you can use. Okay, create a database in SQL Server. What you do is you create a table. Let's understand, like you create a table called as person only. Now in this person, like you have like full name, or you can have like something like first name, last name. Okay, maybe you will have his middle name as well. All right. Take his date of birth. All right. Take date of joining. So when he joined the organization, when he joined the school. Okay, date of joining, and contact number. Take his contact number. Okay, and also take his complete address. Now in one column you completely take his all address. Now this is a very simple table, right? This is a very simple table. Now what I want you to do is, so whenever you are inserting a data here, right? So initial insertion, whenever you initially insert data here, for example you are inserting something like this. Okay, DB Sheikh, so date of birth is somewhere 1990. All right, so date of joining, it is on 2024. So 2024, you give the proper date. Okay, contact number is 9999 something, address is Hyderabad. So let's assume that this is the data. Now what you have to do is, whenever I update any of these things, whenever I update any one of these columns, what you have to do is you have to create me an audit table. Now we will call this as person audit table. Now you should have one table called as person audit table. Now in the person audit table, what you have to do is, okay, column changed. So you need this 3 columns. Okay, so there will be a primary key for this. Anyhow, you will have this person audit ID. Okay, you will have person ID. So what is that person? What is the column changed? What is the column change? For example, I changed my contact number from 999 to 8888. Okay, I updated my column name from 99 value from 999 to 888. So there will be column change. There will be old value. There would be new value. Okay, date of change. Okay, when this was changed, who changed it? Changed it by. So these are the information that you need to capture. How you will do it? For example, person ID, audit ID 1, person ID 1. What is the column change? The column changed is contact number. Okay. What was the old value? The old value was 99999. What is the new value? I changed it to 88888. When it was changed, so maybe it changed on today, 12/2/2024. All right. Okay. And what is the change? Who changed it? For example, I changed it DV. Okay. So this information you have to capture. This information you have to capture. All right, sir. This information you have to capture in this way. So for any person, if I change any value, you need to show me what is his old value and what is his new value. What is the new value, when it got changed, and who changed it. Okay. So do it, if you possible, do it by tomorrow. If not, at least do it by day after tomorrow. Okay.
It's trigger, right?
Sorry. Yes, you have to use a DML trigger here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, for example, if I delete a record, okay, so this is DML update trigger, DML update trigger, okay. For example, if I delete a record from here completely, if I delete a record, what you have to do is you have to maintain a table called as person deleted, person delete table. Now here what you have to do is you should have all these columns, whatever the columns are there, right? You should have all these columns. Then you should have something called as delete by, and you should also have something called as delete date, when this was deleted and who deleted that data. You won't delete hard code, you will delete in a soft way. You will delete in a soft way. Okay, try to do this as well. All right, sir. Try to do this as well. So you have to do it on DML update trigger, and also you have to do it on DML delete trigger. Sir, understood everyone? Understood the homework? All right.
Mm.
Yeah.
If possible, do it by tomorrow. If you're feeling a little bit now, you have to learn trigger, and then you have to implement it. And if it takes time, do it by day after tomorrow, and as well as practice the ETL transformations that we have studied so far. All right, sir. So that's it for today. All right. Let's wrap up the session for today. Let's meet tomorrow.
Do you have some time
Yes.
with you, a few minutes?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Because I just got a PC today, okay, and I installed everything and I tried to follow through the other lectures, but I don't know, it just I'll show you one thing. Can you please help me
Yes,
with
yes,
that?
please. So shall we let the other people go? Is it okay?
Yeah, I think it's
All
it's
right, guys. So other people, if you want to leave, you are free to leave. All right. So let's meet tomorrow. And those people who wants to stay, you can stay.
so for this screen, I'll just go through. So I wanted to import the data. So this, since we have this COVID clinical trials, that means that the database has been created already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to do import data.
Mm-hmm.
Next, data
I'm
source.
not able to see the other screen. You're just sharing your SQL server.
SQL Server.
I mean, you need to share the whole screen rather than sharing one single
Oh,
application.
okay. Um, okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
data source, flat file source, right?
Okay.
And file name, CSV,
Mm-hmm.
COVID trials, open. So next,
Columns. You have to map the columns. Go back. Click on the columns tab once. All right. Now go to next. Okay. Now here you have to select the OLEDB destination.
yeah, I don't see that thing in here.
Now what you have to do is, now when you are doing an import export wizard, you will
Yeah.
have something called as, now see, you have something called as Microsoft OLEDB provider for SQL Server. So from the last, the third option from the
This
last,
one?
if you see, yes, right. So go up a little bit. There should be something called as native client 1.0 as well. Is there
That's what I
anything
did not
called as,
see.
you do not have the native client? All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So go and do this for this Microsoft OLED driver for SQL Server. The third, this one, Microsoft OLED driver for SQL Server. No, no.
Driver.
What is this? Why we have two of this? Okay. You choose any one. Microsoft OLED driver for. Okay. No, this OLED provider for SQL Server, not driver. We will be going for provider.
This one?
Okay. Click on yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have got the server name. This is your server name. Windows authentication,
Okay.
database, COVID clinical trials. Okay, correct, right?
Yeah.
These
That's
things are correct. Now, next, click on next. Now, so it
Okay.
will create a new table called as COVID clinical trials. Now, if you want, you can change this table name because you don't want spaces in between them. So you can just do it with underscores. Okay, you can just do it with underscores. And if you want to edit the mappings, if you want to edit the column names or, the length of the column names, that you can do it in the edit mappings. That you can do it in the
Okay.
edit mapping.
Okay.
All right, then you
Okay,
click
yeah.
on next and then finish.
Okay.
Right. Some other person also has the same thing, right? I think Shanti has some issue, right? Same like this. Look at that error message. What is that? Messages. Click on the messages. So what is that? Data conversion failed. So there is a data conversion fail here. The data conversion for the column title, return values. So you have a lot of errors, right? So go
Yeah.
and see that. Return status value 4 and status text. Text was truncated or one or more. So the text you are getting from your source is greater than
The
the length in the
okay.
database. So you need to increase the length in your database. That's why you
Okay.
need to do edit mappings and change those lengths.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now,
All right.
yeah, I just wanted because when you did it, it was something else. So we exported the data too. So I was confused between that.
All
Okay.
right. So currently it is showing for me native client. I don't know why it is not showing you native client. And I think Shanti also had similar kind of issue where she was not able to see in the SQL Server SSIS packages to list SSIS packages, right?
Okay. And also the same thing with this. Let's just so I did flat file connection manager over here, and so new OLEDB connection, right?
Right.
And I did this, and new. What is
Specified
that?
provider is not supported. Please use different provider in connection settings. Now this is a SSIS connection manager for OLEDB. Now close this. Okay. Okay. Close this completely.
No, sure.
So it is
From the
showing you
provider, you have to pick it. Yeah.
from the provider on the top.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So now go down. So if it is there, native client is there, use the native client or use the Microsoft OLEDB provider for SQL Server.
Okay.
Okay. Click on OK.
Okay.
Give your server name here. So if you are not able to fetch your server name, just type in command select @ server in your database. It will give you the server name in your SQL Server.
So
you can
native
just type.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will give you the server name. If it doesn't retrieve, sometimes it will not. So choose which is the SQL Server you are using. Okay.
Yeah, this one,
So
I think.
double check it which server you are pointing to, and then do it. Okay. Now if you just click on enter a database name, then you will see whether that particular database is available or not.
Okay, yeah, I think now I'm good. Yeah, it was different, and I could not find the solution on the internet too. So I think I should be good now. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Since it's on the database. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. All right, guys. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's it for today. So let's catch up tomorrow with some more transformations. All right. Till then, have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
You too. Thank you. Bye.